Billy Boyd, alias Pippin, and Dominic Monaghan, alias Merry, both hobbits. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Hobbit
You
people.
look like hobbits.
Thank you very much.
I don't actually know what I'd expected, but you do look like hobbits.
I think maybe bright-eyed, very, very handsome, very charming.
Curly
men.
hair.
And very smart suits.
Yeah.
I think that's...
I'm speaking a little Scottish there too. Fits too.
Hobbits are basically lovely people, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically, yeah, very good-hearted, and their life's all about the good things in life, eating, you know, drinking, singing songs, telling stories, and they're friends. Yeah.
You've said that in this film, which is obviously full of special effects, actually there was no sort of real acting required, which is a very sort of nice thing to say about. But because actually most of the locations are real locations, so when we see you scrambling into a volcano, it's a real volcano.
Yeah.
When you're up on top of a snow-covered mountain, it's a real mountain.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the strength of New Zealand, I think. There's so much variety. I think you'd be surprised by how little the special effects there are in the movie. There's a couple of key sequences, but the majority of the stunning things that you see is just the New Zealand.
You're the kind of comedy duo, aren't you?
Yeah.
Pippi and Merry. Are they... Hang on.
Pippin.
Pippin.
And Merry.
And Merry. I've read the book several times, but are they cousins?
Yeah, well...
Most hobbits are related, aren't they?
They're very kind of keen on their kind of family ties, you know. As I say, it's all about friends and family hobbits, so they know their family trees so well.
But you're the squabbling pair, aren't you? You're always squabbling and sort of, you know...
We're kind of getting into mischief and having fun, and we are, to a certain extent, the comic relief in the first movie, which sets the thing up for the second and third movie, where it becomes a lot more serious, and our behaviour has to change because we put ourselves...
Oh, it does get very dark.
You're sort of like the Anton Deck of Lord of the Rings, really.
Kind of.
Which one's which? You know how sometimes people don't know which one's Ant and which one's Deck?
Yeah.
We had a lot of that on set as well. Yeah.
Someone came up to me in New York and had me sign a photo of Billy, thinking that I was Billy, which was great.
Did you sign it as Billy?
Yeah, I signed Billy Boyd.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now, all the actors in it, and you know, the hobbits are meant to be what, about 2.5 feet high?
3.5.
2.5 feet high. All the actors are actually normal size, as are you. So it was it double shot? So there was one camera with sets made to look small, and another camera with sets to make ordinary-sized actors look massive.
There was a bit of that, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was all sorts of things.
Well, we've got a clip here. This is, I think, of Gandalf and Frodo together. Let's have a look. And I gather what they do, one camera's got him, the little one, in a massive set, whereas Gandalf's is in a much, much smaller set.
Yeah.
And then they put the two pictures together.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think on that one. I think...
Is that false perspective?
I think you're making that up, Dom.
Oh, my mind. Sorry. I do that. I make up things.
Yeah.
My lies are true in my mind.
Yeah, I know. But I think that was completely different. I think that is a forced perspective where
What's
the
perspective?
person closest to the camera looks taller.
That's one of
which is why
the
you
easiest
look,
camera tricks of the lot.
You look taller than me, whereas we are the same.
Really? You're much taller than you.
Yes, about you're 6'3".
Yeah. What about, I mean, you went, in terms of the makeup and stuff required, you went through hell, didn't you? I mean, every day in makeup at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. And we had ears, and we had hobbit feet, and we had wigs, and we were covered in troll blood and mud. And
tell us about hobbit feet. What are
hobbit feet?
Hobbits don't wear shoes, do they?
No, they have hairy feet, and their feet are very resilient, and they're very connected to the ground, so that's quite a good thing, you know. And Weta, which is Pete Jackson's special effects company, invented these prosthetic
That's the director,
latex.
Pete
That's
Jackson,
right.
yeah.
These prosthetic latex feet, which we wore, but you couldn't simply slip your feet into them. You were covered in glue. You had your feet shaved at the start of every week, and you went into these glued feet, and they were seamless. So it took. At the start of the filming, it took about 2.5 hours. We got it down to about an hour and a half. Didn't we?
Yeah.
So all in all, 3 hours every day in
These
makeup.
are really clumsy things to walk around in, like you trip up over them, rip the toes out.
Yeah, I was banned from playing football at lunchtime, which I just used my knees and my head instead.
The thing is, you have to stand on a box for the whole time as well, so you can't sit down and have it done.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Otherwise, once you put the weight on it, there'll be air bubbles and stuff. So you're standing on a box at 5 in the morning.
Didn't you have to have a fresh pair every day?
Yeah.
God.
Because
they shredded them. At the end of every day, they were shredded because simply because they're worth over £2,000, and because they were becoming collector's items. Someone's trying to sell a pair of hobbit feet on the internet for £20,000.
Really?
Yeah, that's me actually.
That wouldn't be you. You swiped a pair, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You got a pair.
Yeah.
I got something from my mum and dad. I mean, it's a disgrace.
Absolutely.
We were literally connected to these things every single day for over a year and a half, and they said we couldn't have them.
I think you're allowed to
take
swap
them, so we just
take
swap
one.
them.
How did you smuggle it off?
I showed them. I said, I'm taking these. You can fire me because I've finished now.
What about you?
I didn't actually. I tried to steal Pete Jackson's car, but I couldn't get that.
You're obviously hugely excited. You both look really smart.
Oh,
You're going-
thank you,
you're off
Judy.
tonight, you do.
It's just the world
And
premiere, isn't it? I mean,
That's
it's not,
right.
it's not
Yeah,
just
this
the
is-
British premiere, this is the world premiere.
Leicester
Yeah.
Square, get down there.
Fantastic.
Get down there.
Are you,
now.
Fantastic.
you feeling tense about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
crowd's
great
gonna
to
be
see
massive.
it with an audience, you know.
Yeah.
I've only seen it with, you know, a few people who were in there.
Yeah.
And does it feel like you're watching, you know, saving your roles, does it feel like you're watching the biggest, most important film of this century, which is what everybody says it is, as a you know, filmic event?
It's hard to distance yourself, isn't it, when you're part of something? I don't really know.
You all grew very close. The whole lot of you. There were 9 of you all together, and you did everything together. You went surfing.
There's a real fellowship of the ring, isn't there?
Well,
Yeah.
it was
Really is.
a complete and utter paradox in the movie
Okay.
that we were a fellowship. Yeah.
Well, we have a
Right.
car waiting for you just out the back there.
You're coming tonight, right?
We
Well,
are
I hope
indeed.
so, yeah.
So what
See
we
you
are
there.
going to do is, if you go there, not asking you to take any photographs
you.
you shouldn't take, but if you see any nice snapshots of stars and
Right.
other people,
Just
you
take
know,
a few shots
take
and send them back to us.
photographs
Just
We
and
will
post
send
do.
them
them
back to
back.
us and we'll show them tomorrow. All right.
Great.
Okay.
Will do.
You're an
Fantastic.
official Richard and Judy Show photographers.
Great.
Okay,
on.
accredited. I must say, when I read the book years and years, and I read it several times, I thought this would be a fab film. They could never, ever do it. They
Yeah.
could never afford to make it.
Tolkien himself saw himself as a hobbit, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He was Bilbo.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah.
They've achieved the impossible with this movie.
Pete
yeah.
Jackson is the Hobbit, though. he
I'm really excited. Okay, thanks for being in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you later on.
And Lord of the Rings goes on general release a week